So back in the really wild west days of Bitcoin and crypto, we're talking like 2012 and 2013. There were these companies. There were actually websites that essentially acted like a stock exchange for random mining companies. So these mining companies would say, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to offer you shares of my mining organization, and so I'm going to offer you." Shares of my company at X number of Bitcoin. And then in the course of their mining, they would earn Bitcoin and they would pay back their investors with dividends. So there would be daily, weekly, and monthly dividends paid by these mining companies. So you can imagine how risky this is because difficulty was very, very, very small, and there were really amazing increases in productivity and mining capacity on a regular basis. So the people that were investing and putting a lot of money in earlier were not going to get a huge reward over time. So they had these, it was essentially a stock market because it really was shares in these mining organizations. Well, after a lot of these mining organizations went bust, or they realized that they had created these unlicensed securities. Some of these websites just went down, and the operations tried to. A lot of people tried to still pay their dividends, but mostly it was just a huge loss and a huge disaster. My interest in all of that was to buy and sell these little stocks. I did not expect that the stocks would be worth very much, but it was an interesting idea. I ended up the spread between the buy and the sell was almost 100% gain. So I had created a high frequency trading algorithm that would be the first to buy and the first to sell, and made some money that way. But that was really the only way you could make money on in that market. But the funny thing is I think that sort of laid way to the modern ICO. Like some of that where people were like, hey, I'm gonna produce some kind of a share in my company so that I can get enough money to buy some good equipment and whatever. Well, over the years, it sort of morphed into, hey, I'm gonna raise money for a project, and what I'll do is I'll create my own coin to fund that. So ICOs were sort of built off that same mentality where, hey, I'm going to offer something in crypto to pay for something, for the operations of something in real life. And then it kind of created a world of its own. But it's interesting what crypto has kind of taught people, and what people have used this technology to further new ideas and to grow. Um, so that's essentially my story with Bitcoin stocks. People look at crypto as a stock. It seems to have it seems to behave like a stock because it's got a market and it goes up and down. But if you're talking to someone and they start thinking, if they start thinking that it's kind of like a stock market, you should really correct them and tell them it's more like a currency market, because stocks are not divisible. You can't you can't buy or sell a percent, like a half or a third of a stock, but um, you can buy fractions of a Bitcoin. And so I think that might help people get a little bit more clarification on how this industry works. So anyway, I hope that helps clarify what crypto stocks are or were.